And, I want to talk about being organized because I know my life is always a mess. And you should see my apartment. I had a big flood. I had a fire. I lost half my stuff. I don't know where anything is. And I hired this woman whose name is Barbara Reich, and she came over and she put my head in order and made me feel better about being the disorganized mess that I was at that point. And she wrote a book. She has come in and out of the closets and looked into the drawers, literally and figuratively, of New York City's elite. She knows all their secrets. She knows what pills they're taking. She knows how much money they spend on their swimming pools in the Hamptons. She's organized it all, and she's written a book. So please, if you have any disorganization in your life, you really should check it out. It's called Secrets of an Organized Mom: From the Overflowing Closets to the Chaotic Play Areas, a room-by-room guide to decluttering and streamlining your home for a happier family. Hi, Barbara.
Hey, how are you?
I'm still disorganized.
But getting better every day. Tell me.
You know what I've decided? I'm just getting rid of everything.
Well, that's music to my ears. I love to hear that.
You know why? Because if you lose half your stuff, the other half doesn't match. It's like you lose one sock. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm deleting everything. I think I'm just going to start with a fresh canvas.
You know what? It's very refreshing when you can do that.
I love it.
You realize how much you really don't need.
So give me the basic ground rules about being an organized person and getting your house together. Where do you start?
I mean, really, you have to start room by room, and that's how my book is organized. And you really need to go through once every room of your house, every closet, and every drawer, and find a place for everything. And everything has its place, and everything goes in its place. And then once you've set it up, you just have to maintain it. And that only takes 5 to 10 minutes a day.
Really? But you have to have less stuff. We all have too much stuff.
We all have too much stuff, and I think that it's particularly difficult for families when there's multiple children with multiple activities, and each member of the family collects. And it's a discipline, but each person has a certain amount of space to fill up, and once that space is full, they've got to purge.
It's time to edit.
Time to edit, exactly.
Right. So now, how do you decide what to get rid of? And like where to put it? Like, do you sell it? Do you donate it? Do you recycle it? Do you throw it in the garbage? What do you do?
I mean, all possibilities. It just depends what it is. I mean, it's always a great idea if you can donate things or if you have somebody to pass things along to. Certainly, old toys, children's clothing. If you can pass them down to somebody, there's so many people that need that's always a great option. And then there's other things that are broken, that are stained. I mean, you just throw them away.
Yeah, throw them away. People are afraid to throw things away.
You know, people are afraid to throw things away, and sometimes somebody will be holding something that was their favorite sweater for 2 years, and there's a big stain in the front. And they say, how can I get rid of this? I said, but you can't wear it. You just can't wear it.
Right.
And you're never going to say, oh, my God, I wish I hadn't thrown away that.
Because you're never going to wear it anyway.
Never going to wear it.
What do you do about the closet? Like, what's the rule? You go into your closet. If you haven't worn it in a year, you throw it away. What do you do?
If you haven't worn it in a year, you throw it away. And you know what? You need to have clothes for the life that you currently live, not the life that you want to live or the life that you used to live.
Oh, yeah, or the size you used to be.
Or the size you used to be. I mean, I had one client who had literally 6 closets, each with things in different sizes.
That's me.
That's me, too.
It's lots of people. It's lots of people.
You mean I'm not going to be a size 2 again?
Right. And if you lose a lot of weight, I mean, treat yourself to a new wardrobe. Don't go back to the clothes you wore 3 years ago when you were that size. I mean, you have the victory.
Yeah, I like
back
that.
To that size. But treat yourself. You deserve it.
All right. What do you do with electronics? Because I have so many chargers, so many things, so many like cell phones and hooks and things to plug in. And I am so confused. I have iPads and mini iPads. And
right.
I don't even know what I have.
Here's the good news. There are cheap mistakes and there are expensive mistakes. If you throw away a charger or a plug or a cord and it turns out you needed it, there's a Best Buy or a Staples or an electronics store where you can replace it, and that's a cheap thing to replace. But I will also say that if all of your electronics are working and you have this big box of wires and stuff, chances are you can throw away that box. I mean, people are so afraid
that they're going to need it.
But
I don't even know what's in the box.
Well, and going forward, every time you buy a new camera, for example, the technology changes very frequently. collect the old camera with the manual, with the charger, and give it away.
Okay. Who do you give it to?
If you know somebody that could use it, you can do that. If you're talking about a computer, a lot of places like Staples periodically will have a donation program. There's certain schools that collect old electronics.
But I'm afraid they're going to get all my personal information.
Well, for that, you really have to wipe the hard drive clean. I mean, if you're talking about a computer, you should clean the hard drive before you...
Then you have to get my engineer to come to your house because I don't know how to do any of that. Well, I'm convinced that it's like my fingerprints are there somehow, that no matter how many times I erase it, it's never going to be erased.
Right. I mean, I always say I know how to drive a car. I don't know how to change the oil. I know how to use my computer. I have no idea when I have to download things or upload things. I'd rather not do it.
Okay, so the bathroom. The toiletries.
The toiletries that give birth to more toiletries. I'll tell you what
they multiply.
I'll tell you the problem with the bathroom. They're cheap. So it's very inexpensive if you need a lift to buy a new lipstick. And so people will just go in and buy a new lipstick, but half the time it doesn't work for them. But they just hold on to it. You just need to throw that stuff away. And once the makeup is opened, it collects bacteria.
Gross.
It gets, and it's not sanitary anymore.
So maybe once a year you just throw your makeup away and get new stuff.
Yeah, or I would even do it more frequently than that. I would do it twice a year and periodically go through and look at the expiration dates of your alcohol, of your Advil, of your Robitussin, and all the things that you have in your medicine cabinet and replace them if things have expired.
Okay, here's a big one. Because this is the big one. Are you ready? During the flood, I have all these batteries. I have all these flashlights. Are you ready? Not one of them worked.
Isn't that crazy?
What is wrong? Like, what do I have to do? It's so crazy. I had like 4,000 batteries, 8,000 flashlights. Nothing worked. Nothing.
You have to test that stuff periodically, and you should have one emergency box with a landline phone, with some batteries. If you want to get crazy, you could have what the astronauts eat, those freezer-packed things of food in case there's some sort of Armageddon in the world.
If there's Armageddon, I'm not eating that. I'm sorry. I'm just going down. I'm just giving up.
Right. I hear you. But you should have that a radio, that stuff you should have, and it should be somewhere where you know where it is.
Yeah.
You do have to test.
So what I did, Barbara, I literally went online and ordered all these solar-powered batteries, solar-powered radios, hand-cranking things, and half of them don't work. They're like garbage made in China. I bought a whole bunch of them figuring. And out of like the 6 that I bought, maybe 1 actually works.
Right. Well, there is always the old-fashioned candle.
Yes. You know what? During the flood, after a while, and I got very bored sitting there in my apartment, you can't flush the toilets, you can't take a shower, you have to read by candlelight. It was very boring. So all these people are knocking on my door. Do you have any candles? Do you have any food? Do you have any? And I decided, this could get really ugly. I'm leaving. So I worked my way out of the building and started giving away. I had boxes. I have a lot of candles. Giving away all my candles, worked my way down 14 flights of stairs, giving away candles, and then walked north to the Upper West Side and stayed with friends.
And you escaped.
Who had electricity. Now, what do you do about plants?
I will tell you, I have one plant that somebody gave me when I was pregnant on bed rest. So my kid, I have twins who are 13, and for whatever reason, that orchid is still living and blooms several times a year. I think because we don't water it. I don't understand.
Right. No, that's
what I've done right with that plant.
No, orchids don't want any water.
But I think plants and greenery, they're beautiful. It's aesthetically very pleasing. You just have to make sure not to overdo it. And really, you have to be careful that the pots have something to do with the decor in the room. I mean, you don't want to open a nursery. You don't want to open the door and have people think that they're being overtaken by a jungle. But a few plants here and there are nice. Yeah.
Okay. Now, your home office. This is the disaster area of my life. It's unbelievable. I'm scared.
You know what mistake people make in their home office? The biggest mistake that I see?
They keep paper.
Well, it's not only keeping paper, but they have every single piece of paper they own is in a separate folder. And so when the thought of filing becomes so administratively burdensome to them that they never file again.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, so the key is...
You can't find anything.
Right, you have broader categories. So, for example, instead of having one folder for your car and one folder for Easy Pass and one folder for the garage and one folder for car insurance, you can just have one folder that says car.
Okay.
Put everything having to do with car in that folder. The other thing is people kind of go a little crazy with office supplies. if you group the like things together, you'll know what you have and you'll know what you need.
Right.
So
get rid of the extra office supplies.
Get rid of the extra office supplies, but also know what you have. I mean, people are often shocked at how many Post-it notes they have.
Yeah, that's
start
me.
Pulling things out and making piles. I mean, they've got like 6 dozen boxes of Post-it notes and enough staples to last for 6 years.
I have 8 pairs of scissors, I'll have you know.
Right, and half of them don't work properly, but you can have scissors in multiple rooms of the house. Sometimes you need one in the kitchen. Sometimes you need one in your bedroom.
Yeah. Okay, my last question, the danger zones, storage.
Yeah, storage is tough.
Oh, I hate storage.
Storage is really tough, but what I would say is if you're talking about an attic or a basement, really treat it like a room of the house. Don't just shove stuff down there or, you're not sure, so you throw it down there. Think about it as a room of the house. Keep it clean. Buy some shelving units, and everything that goes down there should be in a box with a label.
Okay. Now, another thing.
Okay.
Parents are downsizing, right? How do you get your parents to downsize? How do you motivate them?
Well, what you have to tell them is if they don't do it, that they're leaving it for you to do. And when I work with clients who are at that point in their lives, they're not doing any service to their children, leaving it all behind for the kids to sort
My
through.
mother wants to leave me with the problem.
Yes. Well, a lot of people don't want to face that they're getting older.
I know.
But if they are downsizing and moving, it's such a great opportunity for them to start fresh.
Yeah. Delete, and just be done. And just be done, yeah. See, this is the thing. You just have to let go. You have to let go of emotional things, and you have to let go of all your stuff around the house.
Right. I mean, my mother recently, she moved, and she's giving me a card that has a cotton ball glued to it with a flower drawn around it. I don't want it. I can't believe she saved it for all these years. I mean, what would Possessor to save that type of thing for so many years? I mean, maybe people more sentimental than I would say, oh, my God, that's so sweet. But I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah. Do you save your children's art?
I save very little. I mean, I've basically squelched any creative gene they might have had by throwing away so much. But I use a system that I've turned many of my clients onto. I use an art box, it's called an art file. It's roughly 12 by 15, maybe about 3 inches high, and I have one for every 2 years of school up until they get to junior high, and then it's just one box from there on out. And first of all, it gives me a guideline as to how much is appropriate to save.
Right.
And second of all, when my kids move out of the house, I'm going to hand it to them.
Yes. Well, that's what I'm on the verge of doing, giving my kids all their stuff. Like,
yes,
you're
I
taking this.
That. When I was there, that's what we were doing.
Yeah, birth certificate, all this stuff, take it. Goodbye.
Yeah, take it. It's theirs.
I know. It's such a great book, and there's so much in it, from organizing your passwords to your hangers and hooks, and it's unbelievable. This should be the Bible for you to get yourself together in your home or office. It's called Secrets of an Organized Mom. Barbara Reich, From the Overflowing Closets to the Chaotic Play Areas, a room-by-room guide to decluttering and streamlining your home for a happier family. It's a great book, and thank you, Barbara, for being here.
Thank you so much, Judith.
Good luck with it.
Thank you.
This is Judith Regan. We will be right back. Call me at 888-947-8277.